Mas kusganon gyud ka kapag laom kaysa imong gihuna-huna. Daghan jud ta ginaagian nga mga pagsulay no, pero sige lang tan-aw lang gyud gihapon ta sa positibo.
Yes, yan. Kay kung ikaw mapuno sa negatibo, ang kalipay mawala og maubos ang kwalidad sa imo nga kinabuhi. Pero sige lang, kana uban sa tabang sa Ginoo, mulabay lamang.
Yes, rahi lagid no mga kapaglaom kung kita makatuon sa kaimportante sang maayong paghuna-huna. And we will talk more about that, especially para sa atong mga frontliner. Diri lang sa
We are stronger together plus. Mo namo karong adlong Domingo mga kapaglaom. Kamusta man no? Ulahi na Domingo sa bulan sa Marso. Paspas gyud kaayo ang panahon mga kapaglaom, but still ang inyuhang mga ka-stronger together plus very happy na naata diri karong gabi. We would like to greet everyone maayong gabi, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. And especially sa atong mga OFWs po nagasunod sa atong mga programa diri sa Hope Channel South Philippines. Gusto po nato sila i-greet og siguro may buntag, may udto, or basig kadlawon po sa inyo hadra. Kamusta man mo atong mga kapaglaom? Still mga kapaglaom, kauban nato si Kuya Carl and si Kuya Gary, no? Ato ang kauban sa Stronger Together Plus. May gabi mga kuya, kamusta? Ayun, nabatay gusto i-greet, Kuya Carl?
Hello, mayong gabi sa atong mga viewers diya no, sa Facebook, sa YouTube, o labi na sa akong pamilya diya sa Matanao, sa Tacloban City, mga Mortas family, maayong gabi sa inyong tanan, o sa mga amigo, amiga nga nagtanaw karon.
Yes, Shad. Gusto din nating magbatiin ang ating mga kasama sa ADRA Philippines, lalong-lalo na sa country office, at ang ating mga community partner, ang South Philippine Union Conference, ang ating Adventist Media, ang Adventist University of the Philippines. And this is our 10th episode, siya, no?
Yes.
Praise the Lord. We praise God for sustaining us for the 10 episodes so far. And we have discussed a lot na mga kapaglaom. How has it been, Kuya Gary and Kuya Carl, being able to discuss important topics from COVID-19 to mental health? Kamusta ang experience?
I think kahit na very close sa akin, no, as a nurse, yung mga discussion for COVID-19, mental health. Pero every time that we will have our discussion, new learnings talaga yung nakukuha natin.
Ayun. Kuya Carl?
Yes, no? Kanang exciting per me. Kanang taga-Domingo nga man nita ma-excite ko no kay daghan na pud tay mabaluan. Ilabi na sa atong mga kapaglaom nga galantaw karon.
Ayun. So sa atong mga kapaglaom naglantaw, last time we talked about the stages of grief. Do we remember it?
Yes.
Review daw tagamay. So ang first nga stage na atong agian,
Is denial.
denial. And then after denial,
Anger.
anger. And after anger, mga kapaglaom,
Bargaining.
bargaining. And also, we get into
Acceptance.
acceptance. Pero na ay mga possibility, mga kapaglaom, nga dili ma-accept.
Yes, yes.
And then moabot siya into depression.
Depression,
So we're
yes.
so happy nga naka-istorya nato si Ma'am Cheryl Castillo.
Yes,
Doc
si Doc
Cheryl. Doc Cheryl
Yes, from
Castillo.
AUP.
Exactly,
Yes.
no?
Hi, Doc, if you are watching.
Oo. Daghan jud kaayong salamat. And today, mga kapaglaom, maghisgot ta about mental health in the workplace. We're all working. Kamusta man atong mental health sa workplace? Magsugod ta kay Kuya Carl sa atong manager. Kuya Carl, kamusta yung mga mental health?
Mental health na ako in the workplace is sometimes maka-experience siya man tag mga stress, no? Kaya daghan man tay stressors around us. Pero we need to consider nga ang importansya sa mental health nato. So we need to rest gyud sa sakto and kana makatabang gyud na siya sa ato nga mental health then sa ato nga pag-adto sa trabaho.
Ayun. So, Kuya Gary, ikaw.
I think, Sean, my mental health is good. No, we have
Amen.
two types of stress. No, we have eustress and distress. So I would say it's more of the eustress. Although
More on
we
positive.
experience stress at work, hindi talaga. Sabi nga ni Mark, hindi talaga natin yan makakaila, no, na walang stress sa trabaho. Pero it's how we cope doon sa mga stressor na nasa paligid natin. So far, it's eustress. I enjoy working with pressure.
Ayun.
How about you, Sean?
Praise the Lord. No, yes, we are, nagi times na dili siya okay. We get lows also. Yes, I love the pressure also, Kuya, but it's much more of the, siguro sa environment, kanang manibag-o gali ka, no? Kanang term sa Tagalog ng naninibago ka pa. Charot. So, parang merong ganon, mga kapaglaom, nga murag mamag-o pa ka sa imong mga kauban or sa how the work flows, ana, bitaw, you'll get used to it man pod kadugayan, pero kaya mga challenges. But then again, as I've mentioned sa akong opening spiel, you look into the bright side or the positive side. Now, when you overcome this part sa imuhang work, you'll grow. Mag-grow ka, ana, and you'll be prepared for another challenge. Right? It's a work in progress.
Yes.
But then, at the end of the day, you enjoy the growing part.
Yes.
Ayun. So sa atong mga kapaglaom, siguro galantaw karon naapod mo yung mga challenges sa inyo nga trabahoan, kaya itong mga volunteers diri ato sa Hope Channel or akong ahaman mo ga trabaho, siguro usapod ka frontliner, nurse, doktor, unsa pa yung mga example nato nga frontliners kaya? Police. Teacher.
Yes.
Oo. So sa atong mga kapaglaom, this episode is for you. We will talk about mental health in the workplace. And mga kapaglaom natin na hinabi, usa siya ka nursing director, supervisor di adto sa Adventist Hospital Davao. And we're so happy that we got the privilege to ask her kung kamusta pod ang ilaha nga sitwasyon di adto sa mga nurses, sa mga doctors o sa ilaha nga trabaho. So let us listen to Ma'am Sheena Grace Avance. Mga kapaglaom, kamusta man ang mental health sa ato ang mga heroes, no? Sa atong mga unsung heroes nga mao ang atong mga frontliners. We're so happy that we have been given the opportunity para mahinabi si Ma'am Sheena May Avance, mao ang Nursing Service Director sa Adventist Hospital Davao. Ma'am, mayong gabi.
Mayong gabi, Ma'am Shan, and hello sa tanan nga nagtan-aw karong gabi. Hello sa mga workers sa Adventist Hospital Davao. And thank you for this opportunity to be sharing with you sa mental health, kung saan ang mental health sa amang healthcare workers diri sa Davao.
Ayun, ma'am. For the past few weeks already, diri sa atong program sa Stronger Together Plus, we have been talking about mental health. And last week, we talked about sa adults, how they handle losing somebody they love. Ang amo pong pangutana, ma'am, kamo as isip nga mga frontliners, how did the pandemic affect the mental health of our health workers?
Thank you. So, di ba, COVID-19 has brought fears to the lives of many. So, we are thankful that this month, naka-receive me of result of a research. Research which was done among the hospitals of Davao City. Dili lang niya siya sa Adventist Hospital Davao. So, this was conducted among the frontliners of the hospitals in Davao City. So, na-actually, top three nga mga naka-add of stress at the mga frontliners. So, number one here is the high exposure to the disease. Diba? We are catering different kinds of patients. So, we never know when we will contract the disease. So kini siya ang number one nga naka-add og burden or naka-affect sa mental health sa atong mga staff or sa atong mga medical frontliners. And the second one in the research, the top two is the salary and benefits. Diba, during this pandemic, there have been increase of the prices of our commodities. The transportation, so lisod kaayo ang magsakay. And then, nag-lockdown, there were panic buyings, then ang atong sweldo wala nag-increase. So this is the top two of the stressors of our healthcare workers. And ang third diri is the work demands and responsibilities. Since this pandemic, the frontliners have been required to use PPE. So pag use pa lang daan sa PPE, it has added the time. We have, amo siyang more di total, ang average time spent sa among mga healthcare workers to use the PPE, we call it donning and doffing, kung amo siyang i-remove, mga 30 minutes to 45 minutes in an 8-hour shift. So imagine that span of time that will be added to your duty na mudugang siya sa imo. So kinahanglan nimo mag-double time sa imong trabaho. And then most of our workers have also been affected with COVID. So ang uban na quarantine, ang uban nagka-COVID. So those na nabilin sa duty, they have to work double time to compensate the absence of the affected workers. So mani siya ang top 3 nga naka-affect or the top 3 stressors of our healthcare workers.
Ayun, thank you very much, ma'am. And we praise God also nga kanigikan gyud pud sa research there sa Davao City, no? So we have the first good is COVID itself. And then ang second is ang tungod sa palalito, no, ning taas na, and sa demand ikatulo sa ilahang work. Nalampod ko yung question, ma'am. I saw videos manggod or kanabitan sa Facebook nga mga health workers gaka-discriminate. Nabay mo'y instance sa inyo hapod dira sa Davao nga naka-face og discrimination or ikaw mismo, have you ever felt nga naay discrimination sa health workers?
Discrimination mo na siya ang struggle nga na-feel sa atong healthcare workers. So, natay mga discrimination nga na experience. Number one here is, ang atong mga staff, they have experienced nga wala gipasakay sa jeep. Kaya naka-uniform sila. So, bisag nakita sa mga healthcare workers nga wala bakante ang jeep, wala sila giparahan. So, siguro kung first time lang nila na-experience, siguro wala sila nakitaan. Pero natingala sila, nga nang perminti naman agi-agian aning mga jeep nga wala may pinapasakay. Tapos ang uban, kung makasakay man sila sa jeep, walay mutapat. So ang pinaka-more struggles among healthcare workers is those who have been renting, nag-rent sila sa boarding house, they have been ousted, ipahawa sila. So what we did in Adventist Hospital Davao, for those who have difficulty in the transportation during yun atong pila ka months nga grabe ka peak sa pandemic, we have provided them transportation, amo silang gihatod and gisundo. And then for those who have been ousted from their boarding houses, especially katong na-assign sa amo ang COVID ward, we have accommodated them. We provided rooms for them inside the hospital.
Ayun. So, moto ang inyo hanga gihimo to handle the discrimination. Per katong top 3, ma'am, nga stressors, how is Adventist Hospital Davao handling it also para sa atong health workers?
So, kato sa ilahang mga stresses, we have conducted different psychological debriefing, psychological first aid. We even brought them to a place, kini among COVID frontliners mo ni siya nag-take care good sa mga positive na mga patients. So we have brought them to a place, kini ato sa bukid, na-relax sila dito for them to unwind. And we are also blessed that here in Adventist Hospital Davao, we have a mental health clinic. So we have a specialist to deal with those experiencing mental health illnesses. So during this time, amo silang gidala dito for psychological debriefing. We have our psychologists sa among clinic to be with them and then to address their concerns. And for those workers nga dili frontliners, dili sila medical field, amo silang gihatagan og counseling sa among chaplaincy. And then we also have a general psychological debriefing, dili lang po sa among venue, katong dili na makaadto sa special nga area. And then we have our mental health clinic and open access for those who need, if they feel the need for professional help. So naa na sila available for them.
Wow, that's good to know, ma'am, no, na there are a lot of services. And unay good, I believe that's Hoffen Clinic. If
Yes,
I'm
that's
yes.
Hoffen Clinic.
Oo, unay good sa Hoffen Clinic po ng Adventist atong mga workers dira sa Davao, no, and I believe it's like it's also a answered prayer nga, even if inani na ang gakahitabo how stressed they are, ang kamu ma'am dira sa our frontliners kay naay mapahungawan, naay maistoryahan ug naay mahinabi. Ma'am, for you as our nursing service director and as a nurse by profession, you have family and seeing your co-workers ani karon panahon sa pandemic, how important is mental health?
Mental health is very important because mental health involves in how we act, how we do things around here. So especially kami diri as healthcare workers, we are dealing with lives. So if your mental health status is not healthy or is not stable, affected yun ang imong judgment. So for example, if discriminated na sila sa ilahang balay, sa ilahang community, so pag abot diri siguro grumpy na ka, dili nakaka-focus sa imuhang work. So with that, isud kaayo for healthcare workers nga, we have to work, we have to take care of our patients, and how do we manage our mental health? So dako kay tabang si Hoffen Clinic nga naga-remind sa amua that we are here for you, you can talk to us, and most especially, we can pray together. So, ingon ana siya, important kay nga stable ang atong mental health para tama atong judgment, especially mga nurses, no, kay bala, basig mali atong mga computation, mali atong decision for the patient. So, aside from praying, we also need someone to talk to ang atong mga healthcare workers. So, kami nagtinabangay ni to assess kung, wait, okay pa ba ang ato ang kauban? Okay pa ba to siya? Makita man ni mo usahay, di ba? Some of our workers are ranting on Facebook, some they're expressing through their My Day. So, we tell them that we need to check also your co-workers kung kumusta na sila. And aside sa mga counseling and all na atong ginahimo.
Ayon, thank you very much, Ma'am Sheena, for elaborating to us what you have been doing and how important mental health. I really love how you shared, no, Ma'am, nga kanang naay parte nga kamo gatinan-away mo sa matag usa. Kung kamusta na ba ang atong kauban. And then, yes, on social media accounts, so makita man po nato usahay nga dili ba kayo inana kadali mag-open dayon sa mga kalisod. And then, we have each other, no? Indeed, we are really stronger together. Thank you, Ma'am Sheena, for the time that you have given and opening up to us the reality that our frontliners are facing these days because of the pandemic. Would you like to greet your imuha nga mga kaubanan dira sa Adventist Davao ug unsa pud imong gusto nga ibilin sa atong mga viewers nga naminaw karon?
Okay, so I would like to greet my daughter who is always watching SPUC programs, so Ali and Baba, and I would also like to greet Sir Nestor, our president of Adventist Hospital, and the rest of the administration. So ako lang ibilin, no, to everyone who is experiencing mental health difficulties, and kung nakapass na ta, nahuman na ta, because this pandemic has brought us different things. It has caused us different mga na experience. So ako lang, we have to remember what has been said in Jeremiah 29. The Lord said, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." So sa tanan, dili lang ta mabalaka because our mental health doctor is the Lord.
Ayun. Thank you very much, Ma'am Sheena. And actually, we have the program director of Hoffen Clinic as our guest. And he, Doc Chris Del Monte, will be expounding even more sa atua what our frontliners can do karon nga naapod sa pandemya. And cut.
Thank you, Sean. And sa ating Nursing Service Director ng Adventist Hospital Davao, si Ma'am Sheena May Avance. So we have heard mga kapaglaom, no, yung na pinagdaanan ng mga nurses natin during the pandemic and how they handled it with regards with their mental health. And now, sabi nga ni Chantel kanina, we have invited, no, Doc Chris Del Monte. He has been in the psychology and counseling profession for 22 years. So matagal-tagal na itong ating guest ngayon. In 2019, upon the support and encouragement ng ating Adventist Hospital Davao leadership, together with the clinical psychologist mentor, he established the first ever mental health clinic among all 10 Adventist hospital in the Philippines. So this is now the Hofen Clinic nga, yung binanggit kanina, and where he is the program head. Currently, he is the national chair of the PWD Special Interest Group of the Psychological Association of the Philippines. So let us welcome Doc Chris Del Monte. Doc?
Hello, maayong gabi sa gabi sa tanan.
Hello,
Mayong
Doc.
gabi,
Doc.
We're so happy nga kauban ka namo and sa atong mga kapaglaom, no, kauban nato si Doc Chris Del Monte pinaagi sa phone, no, and we're so happy nga ato siyang mahinabi pa yun even more ani ato ang mental health nga situation sa atong frontlines. Doc, kauban nako si Sir Carl Morta and si Sir Gary Recto. So, Kuya, you have questions? Let's ask Doc.
Yes, Doc, mayong gabi. For our first question po, Doc, why mental health in the workplace is important?
Okay, yeah, thank you. Yung mental health concern right now is actually a silent issue in the labor force. I mean, in the labor world. When we talk about mental health and labor, meaning workplace, it's a silent issue right now that needs to be looked into because yung World Health Organization globally, they estimated 264 million people suffer from depression. And one of the leading causes of disability, meaning in the workplace, like an employee may not be able to report to his work or her work because of the depression. Ang problema, wala nato ni nakita, wala ni na diagnose that these employees who are not reporting in their work are actually having issues with depression, being the most common. And among this, many of these people also is suffering from symptoms of anxiety. So yun yung nakikita nila. And that is why ang World Health Organization is like saying depression and anxiety disorders right now is causing the global economy of about $1 trillion, and that's each year. Unsay nahitabo? Lost productivity, no? Nawala tong productivity sa mga empleyado. And because of that, your question is how important workplaces should promote mental health and provide support to its people, yung mga mental conditions, because kung hindi ito ma-address, kung ma-address ito, this will reduce absenteeism, increase productivity, and companies would benefit from the associated economic gains ng mga employees having good mental health. So yun yung why it's important that we talk about mental health now. Yun yung pinaka-rason natin.
Wow, Doc. No, thank you for giving us these facts. Nga, kuan jud di ay ni siya kanang identified. Pero as Doc said, it's a silent issue ba?
Yes.
Siya, dili siya kayo gina. So, kuya,
Gabi ka dako no 200 million ang nakita nga I mean record sa World Health Organization about depression tungod aning gahitabo sa workplace. So Doc mention a few sa mga dapat himuon sa mga companies, no? Pero sa mga managers po, Doc, as well as sa mga employers, para po ma-maintain ang good mental health in the workplace, unsa may mga dapat buhaton sa mga managers or employers po, Doc? Aside from promoting it.
Okay. Right now, common practice ng mga companies. Hello, can you
Yes,
Yes,
Doc.
yes,
Yes,
Doc.
Doc.
We
We're
can hear
hearing
you.
you. Oo. Oo. Hello, Doc?
Okay lang ako,
Yeah.
okay lang, madunggan pa ko?
Yes, Doc. Madunggan lang.
We can hear you
Loud and
perfectly.
clear.
Oo.
Okay. So, yung common practice na ginagawa na ginabuhat na nato sa ato ang workplace karon is that we're doing psychological testing upon employment, no, or before employment. So kung maayos ang pagkagawa ng psychological assessment sa mga would-be employees, yung papasok na mga empleyado, then we do have yung parang a file of the report, psychological reports ng ating mga employees. Yun yung pinakamagandang material na pwedeng pagtuunan ng pansin ng mga managers, ng mga HR officers natin. Kasi nga, yun yung has the rich source of information as to first, ano yung problema ng empleyado? Ano yung possible mental health picture ng empleyado? From there, pwede makabuhat og mga intervention programs. Pwede makadevelop og mga intervention programs ang atoang companies para ma-support ang situation man gud karon pag-take o pag lumag-take, wala na, naka-file lang to sa cabinet, sa steel cabinet. Kunya nakapadlock dito sa side. Pero wala na to na napahimuslan ang kaimportante sa mga data, sa information na naa dito sa psychological report. Because ang ideal, dapat gi-organize to siya ang mga data, tapos gitanaw unsa ang common issues sa ilahang mga empleyado, and then from there, buhatan dayon og intervention program. Intervention program could be kanaganing employee support program na gina-provide sa empleyado, and then if ever na-adjud mga clinical issues among the employees, then we could recommend clinical intervention also. In that case, ma-provide, ma-insakto ang support. Because ang premise ng good nato, ang mental health condition there are curable, no, quote unquote, meaning there could be treatment na pwede natong ihatag na makatabang sa empleyado, maka-adjust siya well sa iyahang trabaho.
Ayun. So, kailangan po di ay siyang anang continuous ba?
Na-follow up.
Na-follow up. And
Yes, exactly.
research, dili lang one time, big time, nga murag, sahay na, magpunta sa compliance, good pod nga, okay na, amo na ning gibuhat. Pero then eventually, we will need these files. So, we have to study sa mga companies ka.
Yes, I understand, Doc, no, the importance of the assessment prior to employment. But how about, Doc, if we are if na-employed na ang employee and there's no such thing as assessment prior to that? Tapos we have now the pandemic and the employee is suffering from mental health or from stress. What can the company do? Kagaya ng sinabi kanina ni Nurse Sheena, no? It's good thing that they have a mental health clinic so that the nurses from their institution were able to to grab that opportunity. But from other company na hindi siya hospital, usually walang ganong opportunity. What can we do about that? Or saan po natin sila pwedeng i-link na mga opportunities na para magkaroon sila ng opportunities na ganon like sa Adventist Davao Hospital, Doc?
In our hospital, because exist ang mental health program, because we do have because of the presence ng clinic nato sa Adventist Hospital Davao, nagiging sensitive, meaning nagiging proactive ang response ng Human Resource Department and also in partnership with our clinic, especially nung kasagsagan ng pandemic, In fact, we were able to do research na nakita sa research ang kanang many of our employees are aware of the mental health program we're giving to the employees. Nakatabang to siya kay aware man ang empleyado nga na ay support nga pwede nila i-adtuan, pwede nila pangayoon. Why we need to do that? Because in 2020, yung Department of Labor and Employment issued a department order, that's DO 208, series of 2020, mandating all private office companies all over the Philippines to provide yung workplace policies and programs for mental health. So para bang in response as a response to that department order ng labor, pinag-usapan na agad namin with the HR and our clinic how we can best respond to that concern. So na-in place tong amuang mga program for our nurses, for our medical frontliners, and also our non-medical frontliners.
Ayun.
Yes, I think what Doc is trying to say is to comply on the
Law.
the order na
From
nirelease ng Department of Labor and Employment, which is dapat meron talagang mga program related to mental health sa kahit saang mga company. Hindi lang dapat siya na merong health program ang hospital lang, mga clinical health facilities natin. Even other companies should have that. And Doc, you talked about productivity and absenteeism a while ago in your discussion. I just want to ask or stretch more about that, Paano po ba, Doc, nakaka-epekto yung mental health to increase productivity and decrease absenteeism?
Again, I'm sorry na hindi ko narinig yung last I think
Line.
the question itself, please.
Yes, Doc. Yung question, Doc, is paano ang mental health could increase yung productivity and decrease absenteeism sa workplace, Doc?
Okay. Kasi nga, kailangan magkakaroon ng program designed to address kung ano yung specific concerns ng empleyado. Say, for example, ang common issue pag depressed ang tao, hindi siya motivated. Mababa ang motivation for work. Pag mababa ang motivation for work, you need to find or develop programs that will address kung ano yung pinaka-concern ng kanyang absenteeism or your poorly motivated employees. So titingnan mo ngayon, parang i-tailor fit mo yung program. Halimbawa, talagang clinically depressed yung tao, so pwedeng gumawa ng intervention. Say, for example, counseling or psychotherapy. specific issues that needs also specific yung intervention. Another thing, pag anxiety naman, kung anxiety, so one-on-one mo, may mga sessions ka at ipoprovide sa kanila, magbibigay ka ng mga activities that would help them understand their anxiety, may psychoeducation. Pagkatapos ng psychoeducation, for example, meron talagang actual na session on addressing ano yung nagiging, i-identify ano yung reason ba't nagkakaroon ng anxiety ang isang empleyado. Kasi anxiety could be issues na yung presentation niya is psychological at saka yung physical manifestation talaga ng anxiety. So, titingnan ngayon, ipoprovide yung specific concern. Halimbawa, kailangan ng medication. So, magre-refer tayo to another mental health professional, our psychiatrist. Mahalaga din na in every workplace, mag-work together yung mga natin. Under mental health law, sa ating mental health na batas, yung RA 11036, na-identify doon kung sino-sino yung mga tinatawag na mental health professionals. So kasama dyan, psychiatrists, psychologists, and also nurses, social workers. So pag meron kang employed nurse sa iyong company, that can help you also work out para doon sa iyong mental health program. What I am saying is that kailangang malaman, identify yung specific issue para ma-provide yung specific intervention.
Ayun. Thank you,
Yes.
Doc. Doc, what I'm getting from Doc talaga is the importance of getting into the root cause ba. There's no parang walang there's no one size para sa sapatos mo. Inanabitaw nga saying nga dili siya kanang nice solution nga generally ana dayon diretso. But I believe psychoeducation, we can do that for everybody. But then we have to go deep. We have to identify specific issues that our employees do have. Kay lahi-lahi man gud pud ang
Yes.
working environment every company. Doc, my question is, you have been working with Hoffen Clinic, with Adventist Hospital Davao. So, Doc, katong sa kasagsagan gyud sa pandemic ba? Giunsa man to ninyo pagkuan, Doc? Unsa yung mga interventions nga gi-offer pud ninyo sa Hoffen Clinic? I've heard ma'am nag-mention siya about debriefing. So, how was it as an experience overall sa ilaha pod nga mga frontliners adto sa Davao?
Okay. Yung pinaka-ginabuhat nato is common yung psychological first aid, which of course others are calling it debriefing, no? When we do psych first aid kasi, inaalam natin yung pinakauna, ano yung needs niya, biological needs, ano yung kanyang physical needs, no? Tapos we do ask ano yung kanyang psychological need. Inaalam natin yung kanyang emotional need. And then from there, ina-assess din natin yung kanyang safety. So say for example, isang case, meron tayong employee, yung nurse natin na parang nagkakaproblema siya sa bahay nila kasi nga parang inaaway yung mga anak, nabubuli yung mga anak ng kapitbahay, ng mga kids, kasi parang sinasabi na yung nanay mo ang nagdadala ng sakit. So para ma-lessen yung ma-lessen ang impact, we talk to the mother, we also address yung needs ng mga bata para magawan ng ma-address right away yung pinaka-needs nila. So, yun yung psychological assessment. Yung next naman na part na ginawa natin, we listen to them, pinapakinggan natin ano yung mga concerns, anong issues meron. I remember we also have isang nurse na pinaalis sa kanyang boarding house, no, na nag-stay siya. So ang hospital has to provide a room for these nurses. Yung parang temporarily we house them. We put them in one place sa hospital where they could stay habang hindi pa nakakita ng bahay. Pino-provide yung kanyang food, binibigay kung ano yung pangangailangan. So that thing is part of the psychological first aid. Kasi when we talk about psychological first aid or debriefing, inaalam natin ano ba yung mga pangangailangan, immediate needs mo. And then from there, after no ma-address yung kanyang biological needs, then we move up. Ano naman ngayon yung mga fears mo, yung mga safety needs mo. And then we do address also yung kanyang issues ng belongingness. No, yung Maslow's hierarchy of needs. That's how we look into yung parang when we want to categorize needs of our employees as we provide psychological first aid, or yung other term naman is debriefing. So yun yung mga ginagawa natin.
Ayun. So, kuan jud siya, effective jud atong psychological first aid jud na look, listen,
And link.
Ayun.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Doc Chris, no, na that is happening. And I hope, Kuya and Doc, this is happening good pod sa mga other institutions ba? No, nga ilaha pod ng ma-benefit pod sila ana nga mga services. So we're so happy that that's happening in Adventist Hospital Davao. Doc, kung kami, Doc, di man may mga professional, no? Kaya to sa law na may mga professional. Pero kung nami kauban sa trabaho, Doc, nga murag makita na mo nga lahi ang iyahang ginaagian, kanang unsay pwede pod namo mahimo para sa among mga katrabaho nga na stress dira sa amo ang trabahoan.
Oo, I think we have to emphasize this na whenever we encounter workmates or colleagues having issues na murag dili nato masabtan gani, pero sa una very productive, karon medyo galuya-luya, karon medyo na ay mga dili na maayo ang iyahang performance. One thing that we can provide as a support is we talk to them. Yung pagtatanong na hindi siya intrusive na mura ganig, wala tay dili kanang wala tay pakialam, kun dili pwede ta mangutana nga kanang showing empathy na bay pansin nako lately murag na ay nausab sa imuha basig ganahan ka magstorya ana sa ako bay naalam ni dinhi imuhang tropa maminaw ni pinaka ano yan yung pinaka alam mo siya yung pinaka common na parang red flags ba. Tingnan natin yung performance ng empleyado before tapos biglang maganda tapos biglang nag-iba ngayon or past couple of days or like weeks before okay pa siya pero bigla lang na ay mga dili nato masabtan nga behavior, absenteeism is one, or mo report sa office pero kanang ginatawag nato nga physically present but mentally absent, walay focus, walay concentration, na ay mga mali-mali nga nahimo, kanang sunod-sunod nga mga mali-mali, then this could be signs that there's something wrong. And as a colleague, as a concerned colleague, we could help, we could provide kanang support by asking, uy bay, sis, pansin ko unsa man na ay problema, pwede ta magstorya. Kana nga mga kana nga mga phrases na ato ang ihatag bitawan sa ila. Para sa ato dili siya big deal, but for employees who may be going into that particular issue, ay dako jud na ilahang ipasalamat. Dako jud na ang pwedeng makatabang sa ilang nga
Mental health.
na support. Tapos kanagong let us suspend judgment. Instead nga i-judge nato ang mga kaubanan, let us find a way to talk to them and ask. Let us not be because sometimes we might be adding rubbing salt to the wound already. If we do provide harsh judgments,
Opo.
or kanang medyo insensitive ta sa ilahang mga kahimtang,
Yes.
na wala man lang ta nakapangutana kung gakaon pa ba na, nakatulog pa ba na,
Ayun.
medyo kuan pa ba ni siya, tama pa ba ang iyahang disposition, mo report sa office.
Wow.
So kana nga mga sensitivities na pwede nato ma-provide sa ato ang kapwa employee.
Ayun.
And ang HR pod,
Opo.
ang HR department should be able to provide or at least prepare a list ng tinatawag nato na yung part ng services nila, yung employee assistance program. Tapos kung wala pa sila ka-develop of employee assistance program, our clinic, Hoffen Clinic, is willing to partner with them.
Wow.
Nice.
We do provide consultancy on employee assistance program. We equip our HR offices, HR officer, and the department to be able to work on it.
Yes.
Tapos, ang mga mental health clinic, actually, most of them are providing that employee assistance program.
Ayun, Doc Chris, no? Thank you very much, Doc. I believe that swak yun siya, no? Na, especially sa end that Doc has offered and allowed everybody to know that Hoffen Clinic actually is offering these services and help. Especially siguro sa itong mga kapaglawom nga naminaw karon and you think nga, wala man ni sa amo nga institution. So maybe you can approach your employers and then your employers can seek help to Hoffen Clinic. Doc Chris, we do not have time but we're so happy, Doc, na nakauban ka namo via
Yes.
phone karon nga gabi. We will be praying for the ministry that you're doing in Hoffen Clinic and daghan jud kayong salamat sa pagtubag sa among mga pangutana karon nga gabi. Thank you, Doc Chris Del Monte, the Program Director of Hoffen Clinic. So sa ako mga kauban diri, Kuya, unsa inyohang natun-an sa ato ang diskusyon karon nga gabi? Kuya Gary?
Yes, madami tayong natutunan but especially on paano ang mental health nakaka-epekto sa workplace, especially sa productivity and sa absenteeism.
Ayun, Kuya Carl?
Yes, so thank you kayo, Doc, no, sa maayo nga discussion. Murag na beating gyapon ko sa
Gali
discussion
lagi,
karon.
oy.
Ang last part ni Doc naganahan ko nga talking is very important, no.
Yes.
Talking is one way to assess din sa ato nga mga kaubanan diya sa workplace.
Yes.
So salamat kayo sa among mga viewers. Thank you sa among mga partners sa Stronger Together Plus, no, sa atong PUC administrators, SPAC, AUP, Adventist Media, Hope Channel, and sa among mga kaubanan dira sa ADRA Philippines. Mayong gabi sa inyong tanan.
Ayun, daghan kayong salamat Adventist Hospital Davao and of course, Doc Chris Del Monte, daghan pud kayong salamat sa atong mga kapaglawom nga naminaw karon. We have to know nga nagyud pud tayong mga problema sa ato ang trabahoan. But then kani nga mga problema nagyud pud ni siya solusyon. So ato yun ning istoryahan and maghisgot ta. Sunod na pud Domingo alas 6 hangtod alas 7 diri lang sa We Are Stronger Together Plus.